Oh, there we go.
Now I am.
All right. Welcome, everybody. As Stephanie said, my name is Holly O'Brien. I am a college and career coach. I will help moderate this. And we have the awesome pleasure of having Chad Harris, the University of Wisconsin's head baseball coach here. And so we'll dive right in because I think we are going to have a lot of questions, a lot of cool things to say. So we will get started right away. Chad, if you want to give a quick introduction and welcome the students.
Thanks. I am glad to be here. Good morning, students. My name is Chad Harris. I'm the head baseball coach here at UW-Platteville, the Pioneers, and I've been here since 2018. And that's an absolutely amazing school here, just on the other side of the river from Dubuque.
Awesome. All right. So we'll just start jumping into the questions, and then Chad, feel free to show anything, or when guests show up, have them introduce themselves. But one of the things these students have been learning about are the soft skills, the employability skills. A few of them are essentially what you do, the teamwork, getting tasks done, showing up on time, communicating with others. What 2 or 3 soft skills do you think are maybe not as much talked about, but very important in your role?
In this role, you've got to be independently driven. You don't constantly have a boss hanging over you, making sure you show up to work on time, or go home at a certain time, or take a break at a certain time. Your results show if you're doing your work or not. And in our world, there's so many different things, but recruiting, for example, nobody's hanging over my head making sure I'm bringing recruits to campus and showing them around and making sure that, we're building a team. When kids get here in September, if I have a baseball team, then my boss knows I was doing my job. And if I don't have enough people on the baseball team, then obviously I wasn't doing my job, and they'll have to handle that with me. Showing up on time is a big thing that, we stress in our baseball program with our players too, as far as like, when you go to class, don't show up late, show up a little bit early if you can. Nobody likes that person who's running in at the last minute, scrambling, sitting down, disrupting everybody else. With our baseball practices, we demand if you're not 15 minutes early, then you're late. So the only reason you have an excuse to be late is if you have class. That's the only excusable reason to not be on time to baseball practice. And it goes true in our world too, as employees. Other soft skills, you want to make sure that you can work independently or as a team, because in our role, we have to do both. So we have to make sure that, there are certain tasks that we've got to get done. And if we don't get it done, the rest of the team can't do what they're supposed to do. But then there's other things that you've got to work collaboratively with other people to make sure the job gets done.
Absolutely. I love that saying, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. I think that's a huge thing as you start to progress into even getting an interview and going out and about into the public world with businesses. It's so important to be early. Thank you for that. As you mentioned, there are so many roles involved with this job besides being the coach. Could you talk about maybe the education and training that's required for the various roles?
So to work at a university, typically in the coaching world and within our department, you need to be a college graduate. So either a bachelor's degree or a master's degree is typically required and or preferred. The cool thing about our job and as a job as a college coach, you don't necessarily have to have a certain college degree. A lot of times is if you'll show that you're willing to commit yourself to something and you're willing to complete something you put your mind to and get that degree, that shows the employer that you're willing to commit yourself and you're going to do what it takes to finish it. And that way they know if they hire you, they're hiring someone who doesn't quit. Nobody likes quitters. And, once you quit something one time, it can easily become a habit. So, we're big on don't quit anything. If you start something, finish it. And I think it goes the same way with starting a college degree. If you start college, finish and get that degree. Sometimes your degree doesn't have to be in anything special. Just show the employer that you're willing to put that commitment in and the sacrifice that you have to make to get that college degree to complete it. And sometimes that'll help you get a job.
Absolutely. Once you have a role, do you have to do some continuing ed or additional training throughout your profession?
So it's called professional development. And, like in my world, we have the American Baseball Coaches Association. We have the Wisconsin Baseball Coaches Association that I'm a member of, my assistants are a member of, and they have like conferences and big meetups every year that you're encouraged to go to. And if you can't go, pretty much everything is digital now. It's online, so you can attend it online as well. And it's a great opportunity to learn from others, because if you're not always learning in your profession, you're going to fall behind, because everything is changing. As we in our professions, and I'm including you guys here too, we've seen the world change so fast in our lifetimes, and it's only changing quicker and quicker. So you have to keep up with what's going on. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind. So definitely professional development is encouraged. And, just learn from others, talk to people around you who are in the same area of career choice, and ask them how they do things, why they do things a certain way, and learn from them, because we can always get better. Briefly, I'm going to introduce someone to you. We have Lindsay here.
Hi there.
Welcome, Lindsay.
So Lindsay is our sports information director. So if you're someone who loves computer graphics, you love doing designs, you love doing work online, communicating with people, statistics, numbers,
Yep.
putting stuff on the internet, she's your lady. So Lindsay, a quick brief rundown and just other things you do.
Yeah, so if you think about the communication world nowadays, I mean, it ranges from me communicating to the NCAA and the conference about, what the score was, what were the stats. Either myself or my awesome student staff keep score at games. So that's doing play-by-play. And then if you ever watch a game online, the live stream, we have live stream, we have live stats. And then if you were to look up UW-Platteville on Instagram, I'm in charge of running that, or whoever is working under me and stuff. So it's really quite a wide range, but it's one of those things I never knew it was even a job until I started working in the athletic department as a student here at UW-Platteville. And then things just kind of fell into place. So it's funny how things go. I started off college as an architect major. So, and then wasn't quite the plan that I initially thought of right out of high school, but it's a really fun, just a fun, unique job that I never knew existed, or area of work that I never knew existed until I started to work here. So, yeah.
And Lindsay mentioned having students work. So a lot of her staff are actually students who are coming to school here, and they find a job, they're looking for a job online here on campus, and they find something that she has posted. And just name some things that your students do, Lindsay.
Okay, I have students who like I said, they keep stats at a game. Another one runs the camera for the live stream. Another one does all the overlay graphics on the live stream. I have students that make promotional game day graphics that we put out on social media. We put out in different newspapers, stuff like that. I have student workers. It's really a wide range. I know I'm missing stuff. Oh, that do PA at games. Some run music at games. So think of if you are into mixing music, or even DJing or something. I have student workers who do that. It really ranges, and it's a fun area of work, I could say.
So one thing, as a supervisor of your students, we're talking not necessarily the skills for the job here, but what do you need from your students? What's most important? Not the skills, but they have to do what?
I would say for me, being able to they're coachable. They're willing to learn. That's a perfect way to say it, because honestly, a lot of the jobs I've had very, very few who have ever had any sort of experience doing it before they got here. And that's okay, because I had no experience, but I can pretty quickly tell who's going to be coachable, who picks up something quickly. And then especially for games, another thing that's important to me is, it is a game. We're not doing heart surgery or anything, but being able to kind of stay calm, because problem solving is a big thing. I don't know if anyone has ever dealt with technology or computers, but sometimes things go wrong, and that's okay, because I can't tell you when our Wi-Fi or network's going to go down. I can't tell you when a computer might just kind of hit the dust and stuff. So
as a supervisor, how do you feel if one of your student employees shows up late for a game or for a job?
Very concerned, and they will know. But also, my student staff have pretty much they almost take care of it for me, if that makes sense. So if you show up late, you kind of get it from not just me. I'll probably be the last one to talk to you, but you're going to get it from all of your coworkers, because like the jobs that I listed, they're really, none are the same, but they're all needed to make
the whole
the
thing works.
events work. So
Yeah.
if one doesn't show up, that's a missing link, and that it affects everyone else.
And not just your workers, it affects, you know, you have hundreds, sometimes thousands of people trying to watch the live stream. And if one of your workers doesn't show up, all of a sudden you have a lot of parents across Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and even across the world who watch our games that they can't watch them now because somebody didn't show up to do their job. And a lot of times people don't realize, if, you know, showing up late or calling in sick when you're not really sick, that has a bigger impact just on you not showing up. So,
Yep.
Well, Lindsay,
Yeah.
thank you
No
for
problem.
coming down
No
and saying
problem.
hello.
Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you for asking her some good questions, Chad. That helped really tie her profession into another avenue of the coaching world. So we talk a lot about non-traditional versus traditional jobs. So when we hear baseball, we think of the coach, maybe the umpires, the players. Lindsay talked about information technology and behind the scenes. Are there any other jobs or careers that are really behind the scenes that are crucial to that role?
If you like to write, she posts a lot of stuff online, and you, everybody, you know, nowadays you read stuff online. I grew up reading the newspaper, but somebody had to put those stories there. So Lindsay has a lot of workers, and we have other workers in our department who they attend our games, and they're the ones doing the post-game write-ups. They're interviewing the coach, they're interviewing the players after the game. And you don't really think about those people. You just read the articles and think, oh, that's cool information. It's good to see what happened in the game. But how did that information get there? You had to have somebody attending the game to take notes, to be detailed, and be able to put it all together in a story that is something that's worthy of putting online for the whole world to read. That's a big one. And Lindsay mentioned filming, so we have a lot of photographers around. You know, I personally love doing that myself too, but going to games and taking cool pictures. You know, you don't have to play sports to work in college athletics. You just need to have an interest in sports and an interest in the certain areas where we have jobs.
Oh, absolutely. Would not agree more with that. So these are always my favorite. I know they can be kind of open-ended questions because probably varies on day to day. What would you say are your favorite things about your career?
Favorite parts of my career are just working with the students and having a chance to watch them grow and develop over their time here. Get them here, you know, they visit when they're 17, 18 years old as seniors in high school. And you watch them when they grow and mature and they graduate. It's like, man, they come here kids and they're leaving here adults ready to enter the real world.
Absolutely. So then on the other end of that spectrum, what is probably something you dislike about your career?
Honestly, one of the biggest things I dislike about my career is when I see kids not live up to their potential. And you know what they're capable of. You know they've got the talent and the potential, but they don't work hard enough. They don't put in they don't handle the things they can control. And the things they can control are the effort they put into something. They can put in the time to succeed and the extra work to be great at something, but they just won't do it. And as hard as we try as adults and leaders, they just sometimes they don't. And when that happens that way, it really hurts me personally, because I hate to see someone fail or not succeed or live up to what they're capable of. And more times than not, it's simply because they're not handling the things that are within their control.
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce you to someone quick here. This is our assistant softball coach. Her name is Riley. Riley, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Riley.
Riley, you were a student here just last year and playing softball here. Quick question. Did you see yourself coaching here when you were a freshman?
No, I would say no. I didn't really see myself coaching really for a while, honestly, until I got the call getting asked to coach. I never thought coaching would be something in my future, but I got the call and asked if I wanted to come back, and there was no hesitation. As soon as I got that call, I knew that that's what I wanted to do, even though I thought for the longest time I didn't even want to coach.
So what are you doing in addition to coaching? What benefit are you getting out of this master's degree?
Yeah. So once I decided that I wanted to coach, they actually offer a master's program in sports administration. So I'm going through that right now. I'm on my first semester.
Wow.
And once again, didn't think that was something I really necessarily want to do, but then as soon as I got here, I realized how beneficial it was and how good of an opportunity it was. And if I decide to stick with coaching, which I think I will for a while, it's definitely gonna be really helpful, and it's a really good opportunity. So
Awesome. We have a question for you. We all talk about classes that we need to take in school that really is going to benefit you in your future. Since you are continuing your education, what classes do you recommend we have students on that would be beneficial to them?
like just in their future and everything, or in
Yeah.
college?
High school classes, college classes, what class really stood out to you that would be an impact for them?
Yeah, I would say, I know like in high school, when I was in high school, we took some classes that did some like research, and we actually offer some here that'll do research within like different majors or just general things. But I think like that will be really helpful once you get to college. So knowing that like when you're coming in is really helpful, just because you do a lot of that in college. And it helps you like find a lot of the resources that you might need later on in your future. But I would say like any program, I know like for our freshmen, we offer like intro to college life. And I know I've heard of some schools that do some types of things that prepare you for college or just things in the future. So I think those things are really good because it teaches you things like in academics, but also just kind of like in your life and how to adjust to college or adjust to like really anything. So
Being independent.
yeah, exactly. Like learning how to do those things on your own, since this is the first time you're going to have to do it. So I think things like that are really helpful, that help you with academics, but also just like life aspects too.
Absolutely. I think that's a key point, is that students need to remember that these classes not only are a school requirement, but they are gonna impact you personally with your life outside of school.
Yeah, exactly. They're really helpful with that. So making sure you take them like really seriously, and don't think of it as like a blow off class. There are benefits, even though you have to take it. It's something that you probably want to take, and it's going to help you for sure.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much and good luck this
Yeah,
season.
no problem. Nice to meet you
See you,
guys.
Riley. All right.
That was awesome. So I want to circle back up to this isn't a standard 9 to 5 job. Can you talk a little bit about the working environment, what your hours may look like? And I don't know if you can show us around some of the space a little bit there as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to be walking around our fitness center while we're talking here, but being a coach and working in college athletics in general, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's you never know what hours you're going to have to work, but it's typically not going to be your traditional go to work at 8 or 9 and be home by 5 or 6 or anything like that. And that's where I talked about earlier, independent.
Oh. Hopefully he'll connect back on here in a second.
But she will know by the results of my job. And if I'm doing my
Chad,
job.
you cut out a little bit there.
Yeah.
Could you back it up about 10 seconds?
Yeah. So my boss doesn't work the same hours I work. So she doesn't know when I'm here, when I'm not here, but she will know by the results. So if my baseball players, my students I work with aren't getting the job done, she'll know that I'm not doing my job. One more person I want to introduce to you here is he's our assistant head strength coach, Coach Kellen.
Welcome.
Guys. So kind of going back, you don't have to be a certain sport coach to work at a college university. Coach Kellen loves lifting weights. And guess what? The dude made a career out of it. So where'd you do your schooling, Coach?
I did my undergrad studies at UW-La Crosse, and then I did my master's at UW-Madison. So.
And then he worked that into his first full-time job here at UW-Platteville, and is now our assistant head strength coach. And before that, he was working with the Wisconsin Badgers volleyball team, who were actually national champions when he was their coach.
Wow, kudos.
So, yeah, this is Coach Kellen. So, Coach, thanks for saying hello.
Yeah, of course, you bet.
All right.
Nice to meet you. All right, Chad, we have a question from a student. If they are not necessarily an athlete, but they want to work in the sports industry, what advice do you have for them to get involved as a non-player?
That's a great question. And my advice on that would be, when you're attending a college, wherever it may be, go to the athletic department and look what jobs are available as a freshman immediately, and see what you can do to start getting that experience. Like we had Lindsay here earlier, and she was talking to us about, she didn't come to college anticipating working in college athletics for her career, but she got a job in the athletic department as a freshman, and here she is all these years later, and she's our head at sports information director, and I don't think she even played high school sports, but here she is. I mean, without Lindsay, nobody knows about our athletic department. You go online to letsgopioneers.com, and everything you see there, Lindsay made sure it happened.
Wow.
But you have to start as
one
a
of the-
freshman. I would start as a freshman and just try to get a job in the athletic department.
Awesome. I agree. I think a common trend that we've learned from a lot of the people that you had bring in is they found a passion. They found something that they enjoy doing, and they continue to excel in that and to find a career out of it. And so I think that's crucial for kids to know that you have to enjoy what you do every single day.
Absolutely. It's great. If you enjoy what you do every day, you don't really work.
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about the salary? Kind of what some of the starting salary is in between these roles?
Sure. So it's going to vary based on your position, your experience, your education. So a lot of that will vary. The salary will, but typically you can start out somewhere in the mid 30s, and depending on how high up you go, you could be doing really well, 50, 60, 70,000 a year.
Absolutely. And I would assume, obviously, students don't understand this quite yet, but the benefits are probably top of the line there for you guys.
So you get health benefits, you get retirement benefits, you get great vacation plans, you get sick days. And the thing is, you're really taken care of, and for us here at UW-Platteville, we're a part of the Wisconsin state system. And, the insurance is very affordable. It's very thorough. Like I said, you have vacation days, you have what they call personal holidays. So maybe you're someone, you don't celebrate Christmas and you want to take we're off for Christmas per se. You want to take Christmas somewhere else at a different date, you can do that, so it's open to, all people from different beliefs and backgrounds. And, it's really a great system. But again, going back to the very beginning, you've got to be willing to put in the work. You've got to be willing to put in the time. And another thing about my job, you mentioned hours earlier. We're not necessarily 40 hours a week. There are times when we're in season for sure that I put in 60 to 70 hours per week. And that's just understood. It's part of it. If you complain about it, you probably don't need to be doing this job. Lindsay, I have a season. I have baseball season that's in the spring. Lindsay, she doesn't have a season because she's always in season. Sports are always going on from the end of August to the end of May here at Platteville. So she's going full time the entire academic year without really much off time at all. And the thing about Lindsay, you never hear her complain because she loves it. And she knows that this comes with the territory. And, if she doesn't want those hours, she can find a different job somewhere else, but she loves what she does. So when she's working 60 hours a week, she's not complaining. She's always smiling. She's always happy. She's pleasant to be around. And that's another thing. You talk about soft skills, and that's not necessarily a soft skill, but it's something you want to be around people you work with, that you want to enjoy being around them. And, it's nice being around people who are passionate about what they do.
Absolutely. That is a key factor. You have to have that empathy and the compassion with everyone around you. Thank you for sharing that. Middle school, I know we were a few minutes over. Do you have any last questions that you want us to ask Chad? Jefferson Middle School said that was great advice for the kids, and they were glad they were able to learn from you and see behind the scenes for this career.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. And, if any other questions come across when we're done, feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Chad, and good luck this season.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.